This is the most broken Unity build I've ever seen, and it's actually working as intended, but we're going to use it for evil and break this damn game, like obtaining Biomorphosis Ascension perk at year 5, and therefore we can complete the situation and fill out whatever biological ascension you want by year 15. This is all because the quicker you can get to ascensions in Stellaris 4.0, the better, as they're so strong and powerful. So why not get it as fast as humanly possible with this build? In this video I'll show you how to do this, why it works, and my journey to get here, as there was a lot of tinkering needed. Let's get into it. Here is the build that is going to go very fast to ascension. There are a few key elements to this, so let's look at them. The first one is obviously overtuned. Even though it doesn't say here, you can take Biomorphosis, Bioascension, as the second pick instead of the third, meaning you only need 2 traditions instead of 3. It also gives you gene tailoring, which is required for the second stage of Biomorphosis, so you don't have to research that. Now it also gives you Damn the Consequences and overtune traits, which we have a couple of. Next, of course, any rush build is going to use parliamentary systems because factions will form at the start of the game, meaning you get unity straight away rather than in 10 years. It also gives more faction output, which we also get from democratic from the ruler per skill level. They also get more approval, which means more unity. Egalitarian also gives more faction output as well as specialist pop output, but the main difference here compared to other unity biomorphosis rush is galactic creators. You get the guaranteed galactic archivism tech, which is very, very important. You also start with initial specimens, which again is very important. You'll see why. But then we gain unity for every time we find a specimen or complete an archaeological site. This is also very important. It doesn't say in game, but we get 6 times our unity output per obtained specimen. This means if we can get our monthly unity really high when we gain specimens, which we will be doing, and it won't be luck or RNG, it'll be guaranteed, we're going to get a hell of a lot of unity to rush Biomorphosis down. We also get 12 times unity output when finishing a Grand Archive, which will help later on when we want to immediately finish whatever Biomorphosis Ascension we've gone down. Now the ethics of course are also quite meta because egalitarian will give us utopian living standards, which we're going to use, but also from the monument it gives us trade, which we're also going to use and abuse. Xenophile gives us trade from jobs, which again we're going to abuse that. Then materialist will give us some research speed and tech. Don't really need this. You could go fanatic egalitarian for an even bigger rush, but we do need a little bit of tech, and you'll see why. Traits don't really matter too much, neither does lithoid. We've gone it because lithoids start quite young, which means pre-planned growth with the 30% pop growth speed negates lithoid. Then we can take stuff like fleeting excellence for better traits, and augmented intelligence for even more researcher output, traditional for bureaucrat output, and then brittle as a -3 for pop amenity usage, as we don't care about amenities. We've also got enduring for plus 20-year lifespan to counteract, as we don't want our leaders dying constantly. We are playing on Grand Admiral small, 0.75 tech, not 0.5. Everything else is pretty much default. Let's play. Okay, so before even playing, you can see we get specimens. Now we don't actually get any unity for them, unfortunately, but that's fine. This would be even stronger if we did. First, come over to government, policies and edicts, and we're going to work our way through here because we're changing a lot of things. Diplomatic stance goes to isolationist from expansionist. We don't care about expanding, we care about that 10% monthly unity. Next, subjugation war terms. I know we're going to need benevolent, so let's just put benevolent on. Economic policy, we are going to switch over to civilian. Something we have done is gone biological ships as well. Not necessarily needed, but I find it helps a lot because we don't need too many alloys and we're going to need consumer goods. That's all we're going to do on this screen, but then we're going to come over to species, set species rights on Sanic, living conditions, switch over to utopian abundance because civilians will then produce us unity and research, which is going to help us out a lot. Then over on technologies, society, we must research Grand Archive. We are going to need this technology so we can get the archivism traditions, which is going to give us 3 specimens, which means 3 unity. You can see where it's all coming together now. Other techs don't really matter. I would recommend taking the science buildings because they are very good. Then we're going to zoom out and see where our planets are. We will need to get a planet or 2. It will help with biomorphosis in general. We're going to survey this size 25 first. Then we will survey that continental world. Now, since we're bioships, things cost food. However, we are going to need minerals, so I'm going to build on this mineral station deposit immediately for 125 food. Then we're going to split up our military ships, put our leader on the one that has only 1, and then we'll just go explore. The more we can see, the better. We're not done there. Planet. Come over to economy, and then we're going to start deprioritize jobs so we get more civilians for the resources we don't need at the start of the game. Physicists, we do not need. Biologists, we do for Grand Archive. Engineers, don't need. Bureaucrats, we will keep. Enforcers, we will keep because we just want to not get any crime events, but eventually we can get rid of them. Entertainers, we do not need you. Traders, we'll keep. We're going to need to buy and sell stuff, and eventually trade is going to turn into Unity. Get rid of the alloy jobs. We are going to keep the consumer goods going. In terms of basic jobs, we do need minerals because we're lithoid. We will need energy. We need to get to 1,000 relatively quickly. Farmers, we don't need. We're lithoid. Yes, we expand with it, but we want as many civilians as we can. We are producing some trade at the minute. We're going to buff that up very, very soon. Come over to your main starbase, replace the crew quarters with a hydro bay. This will give us 10 food for 1 energy. It will be worth it. I'm trying to hit 100k subscribers by the end of the year. A lofty task. I hope you can help me out. It's free and it's much appreciated. Now, it's very hard to predict what the resources are going to do. So I'm just going to buy 42 minerals, and next month we will see what happens. So now we're playing everything's going off. The economy is going to massively readjust. The pop should demote quickly. We are at 32 crime and 50 stability, but it will fix itself, don't worry. Okay, so the month is about to tick by. We are negative trade, consumer goods. Right, what we're going to do is buy 13 consumer goods, sell some food, sell 3 alloys, and hopefully this balances out a little bit more. This is going to be the hardest bit, the start of the game. So factions founded, again, we're just going to promote them all. It gives more approval, which means hopefully more unity, and these factions will grow and give us more and more unity. This will speed us then along at tradition. We are still negative in some resources, but the thing we're beelining for is the monument, which costs us 400 minerals. So what I'm actually going to do is cancel the monthly trade of 42 minerals now, come over to minerals and just mass buy 100. We're not going to be buying any for a bit so the price can reset, but we can build that monument 3 months in and it should stabilize the economy a bit. I'm going to sell an extra alloy and some food just so we don't go negative trade. It's a bit risky. Let's see what happens when we take over. Oh, it just stopped buying consumer goods. That makes sense. Sometimes I even forget how this game works. I kind of need some food and alloys now, so I might not sell as many. Trade's going to be fixed soon. We just need to get over this hump. We're going to send them off to go to our first planet, as we do want planets up as soon as we can. We're stabilizing. I haven't been selling energy because we do want to get 1,000 and then we're good. So first tradition has to be mercantile. Doesn't really do too much yet, but it will. 5 months, it's going to blow up. You see the factions are growing in Unity, and we'll just keep microing our ship to find space, planets. This is more setting up the later game if you continue playing after we've rushed down the ascension. We've now got the hydro bay. Very nice. I'm going to stop selling food now as we do want some food and some alloys. And everyone is slowly going to civilians. And in 1 month, we can now get adaptive economic policy, which means we can convert trade into unity. You probably saw this coming, but it's very strong. So we come over to policies and edicts, trade policy, marketplace of ideas. 25% of our collected trade will earn us unity. So we will go from 69 trade up quite a lot, and it's going to only get better once we get more things in place. We're up to 84, 3 months to the next tradition, and we have a lot of trade now. I'm going to buy the maximum consumer goods as we are going to need them and stop selling alloys. Hopefully the economy is balanced. Yes. Next month, now it can go even crazier. Trickle up economics. Trade per civilians +1 and amenities +100. Civilians go from 47 trade to 81. And remember, this also converts into unity. So next month, our unity is going to go from 92 to 107. That doesn't feel that much of an increase, but it's going to help, don't worry. Since our trade's gone up again, we're going to buy minerals. We also now just got the monument, which means we're getting research trade and pop upkeep reduction from our civilians. Next up, we can get rid of the holotheater. I probably should have done that before, save on some energy. Crime's not too much of an issue, so I'm actually going to put automation on and only automate crime. This will manage the crime and we can just unemploy until we're near 30. Okay, now we can go to shipyard, and next month we can build that colony ship. It did also cost us minerals, hence why we're going to struggle to actually build things on our planet. Next edition, we're going to get 10% more trade from jobs. This buffs unity and our economy up. Should probably now start buying some food and alloys just to help our economy up. We're at 1,000 energy, which is nice, and we've also got discovery of alien life giving us some society research that will help tick along the Grand Archive nicely. We are negative trade. We can just like adjust our economy a little bit. Then we get contact. Because we're xenophile, we can get a bit more society research. We're going to take that. Everything needs to go towards this Grand Archive. We can now launch our agenda. We're then going to go to evolving society for the monthly unity. We can now construct on debooks. We want to do that. And we can now pursue the Grand Archive. For 1,000 energy, we can get 75% progression to it, which means we're 4 months away. We also can finish mercantile soon. Been insider trading first to reduce market fee. That will add up a lot since we are buying a lot of things. We go from +2 trade to +12, just like that. And I do want to get 2 colonies as soon as we can. So I'm going to start buying the maximum consumer goods again. Now we can start selling energy soon, but I do want to create extra pops. And what we're going to do is actually build a medical center. You'll see why soon, but this will help us with rushing down biomorphosis. So we do have our system built. We do want to try and upgrade this as soon as possible. We are lacking on some food and alloys, to be honest. It's a bit annoying. We're going to rejig our economy a little bit then. Less minerals and a few less consumer goods. Grant Archive Tech is now done, just in the nick of time. Doesn't really matter what you'd go for here. You would prioritize biology building if you got it, or Unity. We didn't get it, which is a bit annoying. We'll just go for space combat as it's the cheapest and it's useful. And now we can finish mercantile, which will give our traders extra jobs, but also gives us monthly trade value 10%. Unlocks an ascension perk. We're going to take 10% Unity. Yeah, we do not need any enforcers. Turn you down to 0. We do need a bit of food. I think we're just going to work the 200 farmer jobs. We do want to get some star bases going, and they do mainly cost food. Colony ships up, let's send them to go and colonize, and that's for a later plan, but now we are still just Unity rushing. You can see we are producing some science and Unity and trade and a hell of a lot of amenities. We can get our next tradition now, and like teased before, we're going archivism. This isn't gonna really help us except for the fact we can get a specimen from each of these bottom rows, which is going to give us a bunch of bulk Unity, which is going to progress us faster to finishing the tradition. For this reason, I go for the second one, as the first pick then unlocks 2, but we do need to just adopt it to start with. This is why we still need some nice Unity income to start with. First Senate colony's done. I'm just going to take some minerals, as we're going to need those. We also can clear the blocker here for the sprawling slum, and we could even create more lithoids. We'll see how it goes because we do need minerals. So medical center's done. I'm going to immediately disable it because we don't need it yet. I want to work as many civilian jobs as possible, and I forgot to actually come over to policies and edicts and activate fort by the border, which would speed up getting the starbase. Slight misplay. We're also going to ramp up the consumer goods again. We definitely want to get another planet up. You will see why very soon. And our trade has exploded. Okay, we'll just keep buying more minerals then. Okay, I'm actually going to build a city district to get some bureaucrat jobs, consumer goods, alloys, the good stuff. Our starbase is done. We're going to immediately build trade hubs, which give us trade, which then convert into Unity, and then a hydro bay on the building slot. That's why we want the starbases. Oh, our governor just leveled up to be trade. We're at 200 Unity. That means we can soon get the first pick. This doesn't really do anything for us. We need these ones. We need to keep ramping up that Unity production. Our factions are doing very well. We've got another system. We'll immediately explore that. And we'll just keep serving. Now, if we did find any anomalies, we would try and do them, especially if they're level 1, as there's a huge chance we can get a specimen, which would give us even more Unity. Now, that is the RNG side, which does mean you could get this even quicker, but we have not gotten that lucky, which is fine. Okay, now is where it gets crazy. So we can now take one of these specimens, and you'll watch, we're at 2k Unity. It should go down to 0, but we take it, and it goes up to 1.4. So we got 1.4 Unity, which is over halfway through here. So now we only have to wait 4 months for the next one, and we could just keep doing that. Colony can now be built, and we can go for the next specimen, which again, 6 months. It's so dumb. We're going to unemploy these people again. We want the civilians. And annoyingly, we never got habitable world survey because that would also speed us along. So this has taken longer than what I've tested. The guess? Oh, here we go. An event that gives us Unity. Thank you. So now we can take xenopaleontology. 1 month then will give us the full archivism, which then also gives us a bunch of Unity. And then we can just go biomorphosis. So by year 5, we did get biomorphosis. I've done this in year 5 as well, actually. I beat it by 5 months. But I can imagine if you get lucky with an anomaly straight away and you research and get a specimen, this would speed up even more. Now, we're not done. We need to get through the situation, which to start with, we need a genomic research facility. So scrap whatever we were building. We need a research facility. And when we do get that research facility, we'll activate the medical center because they're also genomic researchers which buff up the progression. Now, in terms of what path you want to go down, it really doesn't matter. It's up to you how you want to play. I love going for mutation first, so we'll just go for that. But again, it doesn't matter. This is setting you up to rush down whichever path you want to do. Now I just need to wait for that research facility to build, and then we can start progressing down biomorphosis. With any spare resources, we'll upgrade starbases, and now that we have got it, we can actually start restoring jobs. Now I don't want to click restore all because I don't want all the jobs restored, but the physicists, engineers can work, and we can get some alloys going. Economy might be a little bit weird when this happens, but at least now our science and stuff gets fixed. We can always sell some resources if we need to. We've just got a healthy amount of all of them, and we will will start expanding. We may as well also get a science ship so we can actually try and do some dig sites or anomalies that we find to hopefully get some specimens, because remember, this isn't just rushing to biomorphosis, this is immediately trying to finish whatever biomorphosis tradition you go. So as soon as biomorphosis is done, we have it all unlocked. Okay, our first colony is done. We're immediately going to build a genomic research facility followed by a medical center, because these will help progress biomorphosis. Getting them really early is so important. Get another starbase up. Again, just trade and food. We still need to stockpile Unity. And we do actually also want to save some alloys to get the Grand Archive. Now, because we've gone bioships, it doesn't cost 750 alloys. It instead costs 375 food and 375 alloys, which is another reason we went bioships. When built, this also gives us a bulk of Unity, which will basically guarantee we can finish it off. So we will want to save for that, but I like getting the starbases of planets up first. And don't spend your Unity. Want to save it all up. There's a tier 4 anomaly. You know what? We'll go for it and we'll just keep saving. We could set another planet, but I do want to just start building the Grand Archive soon. We will get a starbase up and running though. Okay, so we do have the genomic research facility down. This gives 200 jobs. This gives 200 jobs, meaning we're getting a 5% boost because each 200 jobs gives 2.5% to the progress of this. This is why we want planets up soon so we can actually build these, because they are planet limits of 1. We are now suffering from consumer goods though, so I'm going to build a civilian industry first, and we are buying the maximum amount. This is before inflation kicks in, so you're playing as efficiently as possible. Pinned in the Discord, by the way. Oh, we finally got Habitable World Survey. Thank you for the 1,200 Unity. That would have been way useful early on. I don't know how to min-max getting that. Maybe there's a way. Let me know in the comments, because this probably could be optimized further. How I found out about this. So someone in my Discord, Justified Fanatic Purifier, sent me this with them getting biomorphosis basically 3 years in the game. I do not know how they did this. I've tried to figure it out from them, but we've had to reverse engineer it. But thank you for letting me know about this. They did send me a build, but I've been slowly optimizing and tuning to actually then get it quicker and quicker. But I would love to know how you get it 3 years in. It could be the fact that it's on like 0.5 tech costs in tradition, which kind of makes sense since we're halving time. But again, that still doesn't exactly line up. Maybe it's been revealed in the Discord by this mysterious person. We'll just keep things going, keep the trade hubs flowing. And you can see now we do have the genomic research facility. If we favorite this, 6.4%. When it updates, 7.5%. And then with the medical center, it'll go up to 10%. And then we will get the other planet as well doing that. Now we are going to just bulk buy consumer goods and stop buying monthly, so we don't pay the inflation. We'll grab the 5% Unity and a lump sum of Unity too. Mining stations and the final starbase can go up. And then we do need to think about building the Grand Archive so we can get the bulk of Unity. And we can also actually use the specimens we have, which give us amenities, minerals from jobs, tech, trade from jobs. Now, in terms of the random pop-ups that come up, obviously you want to take any that give you situation progress, like this one. This isn't guaranteed. I've had many runs not having it. This is quite lucky to have now. We're going to take that. 50 out of 1,800 is not a lot, but it will save 3 bumps. Consumer goods is still an issue, so we will just keep building them. Okay, the urban world is done. We don't actually have enough pops here, but they should slowly come over. This anomaly only gave us society research there. Let's go research the other one. Give us a specimen. So I don't even know if we're going to get the Grand Archive in time, but we should have enough Unity saved up. We're at 10k. I believe we need like 15 to 20k. Okay, the specialists are done. We will make you consumer goods as well. Another starbase done. Again, spam those. Now we can focus on saving those alloys to then build the Grand Archive. Sometimes it doesn't really matter what you pick. Actually, the research speed's quite nice. What does this tech do? Your experience gain and lifespan. We are overtuned, so we'll take that. This planet's now online. We will build genomic research facility when we can, and I am very greedy. I'm going to just mass buy 200 to get that. We'll stop buying for a little bit. You can see the consumer goods are still ticking down. We'll just buy some so we don't go negative. And there we go. We got a specimen finally. So when we take that, you can see our Unity will shoot up on up 2,000, which is pretty nice. We can now queue up the Grand Archive. We're now in the second stage, which to progress through here, you'd normally need gene tailoring, but because of Overtuned, we have it, so we don't need to waste time researching it. I'm going to go for purity on the second pick, and since you have nowhere to be, I'm going to survey near the other science ship in case they find anomaly. Now, it's funny we're Unity rushing with something that does give us minus 10% Unity from jobs, but we're getting most of the Unity from trade anyway, so it did not matter. And also remember, this does give us a minus 25% Grand Archive construction cost, which is really nice. Society research tech, yes please. Okay, the facility's about to be done. We will favorite that, and now we can see we're up to 12.5%. This is a long event, so that small percentage of this early on does make a difference. Let's build the medical center to get up to 15%. Oh, we found an anomaly. Go research. Again, we don't really care here. We'll just take the Unity from jobs. And there we go. We've got another specimen up to 21k. I believe we're fine, but we're also building that Grand Archive. More genomic researchers. This should fill up as well. Our science ship went missing. That is very, very annoying. Okay, we're getting 40% Unity. Yeah, we should be fine in terms of Unity. We're maxed out on the genomic researchers now, which means we are up to 16.5%. That's a weird number. How is it that? I will just accept 16.5%. Maybe it's not 2.5 for each one. Okay, next we're going to take the habitability because that stacks with the mutation. We are in the third stage, 12 years in. Minerals are no longer a problem except for our monthly income, but I have stopped buying some just so we could buy a mass bulk and actually work some of the mineral jobs, as minerals are being a bit of an issue now. But it's pretty much a waiting game now. We've done everything we can. Grand Archive should finish just in time too, if we weren't guaranteed the amount of Unity. So I'm going to show off my new computer speed. Look at it go. Fastest is too fast. Okay, we are not going to kill Pops, even if it gives 0.2 biologists. We'll just get happiness. Haven't got any more of the events that give extra progress, but that's fine. Mineral purification, nice. Ooh, a 50 advance. We are so close. Can I beat my record? Every time I do this, it's gotten better. Now you can see we get the archive giving us 3,000 bulk Unity. 34k is a lot. And we have done it. I believe, yes, we've beaten my record by exactly a year. Now you can take whatever path you want. I'm going to do purity since we are overtuned. And then, of course, we're not done because we haven't finished it, but we have 35,000 Unity saved up. We can easily come through and do all of those with 7.5 thousand to spare. And then we'll reform into the government, giving us leader upkeep experience. But then we can go even crazier. We could reform a government into eugenic hierarchy, giving us job efficiency. We can then get rid of parliamentary systems for crowdsourcing, for research from our factions instead. So we can start catching up. We can even change our government. We want the research speed. We want that faction output, sure. And let's do first contact speed. Genetic Purist also gives council agenda speed, which is pretty strong. So now our factions will change into science. We're up to 511. 15 years in, we have 140 habitability because we've gone for mutagenic habitability. With every 10% above, we get job efficiency. We also get job efficiency for medical buildings and genomic research. And then we can actually then even change our pops. We can work on erudite for more tech. Robust for habitability and job efficiency. Look at this pop. Oh, it's ridiculous. Maybe we could get rid of enduring and add something better on. How long do our leaders last? 108. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that then. So we could even put a fancy dancy overtune trait on. Habitability 20%, it could go crazy. So you've got robust, erudite, fleeting excellence, pre-planned growth, traditional. We can also get rid of traditional, to be honest. Let's get rid of habitability and see if there's a better +2. Do we want more research? Yeah. So robust, erudite, 30%. Fleeting excellence. Oh no, fleeting excellence does augmented intelligence. Have I had that on and it's been useless? Well, this build's not been great. Don't have augmented intelligence on. We have another +1 we can put on. Let's go for the habitability so we can get to 100. Set them as default. Set species right to integrate into them. All our resources will be very efficient. We also get another specimen, and we can activate the specimens. I forgot to do that. Amenities, infrastructure build speed, less leader upkeep, more Unity, more minerals, and more engineering. We can also go another ascension perk. Let's get the research speed, so you can just catch up now. Now, your Unity does drop a bit. Oh, who cares? We're at 500 tech, 15 years in, with Biomorphosis done, which means we're going to start scaling to the moon. We should start clearing some monuments too. Oh, we could even form a federation to then get consumer goods from trade, because we can try and go for a federation. They just need to like us, improve. They're inferior tech and economy wise. We can go annex tradition. Why not go for statecraft for ultra leaders, where we're getting more council agenda speed because we're purity, we get more XP. Oh, more habitability. Very nice. We will be close to 200 for max job efficiency. Let's have a look. We're at 57% efficiency on our scientists there. And because we're going on archives, we'll get events from the creator order, giving us stuff like minerals from jobs or mining station output. We'll do mining station output. I probably should get aid in research from you. And we can recruit one of their leaders. I should have done that so we can put them on the council. We'll do that when we expand. I was forming all the packs with them. Be our friends. Monthly Unity, sure. Expand the council. More council XP gain, yes. And then we'll go creator archivist and put them in, which gives us a whole host of research bonuses. And then we can get stuff like Dyson swarms, and it just scales now so incredibly well. Obviously, it's no Knights of the Toxic God, but it's just good. And you can combine it with whatever, really, as long as you've got the main components of it. Just go to the moon. But yes, you've seen me play these runs over and over, so we'll leave it here. I am very curious how you get it year 2. Let me know in the comments if there's any further optimizations. I've done like 4 different runs to really try and narrow it down, and this was the fastest each time. Found some optimizations. I couldn't really see any in this game. It was played pretty optimally. We could have got lucky with the events and anomalies, giving us even more unity. That's just how it is. If you want to see me play later in the game, there is a member series with full unedited gameplay, or if you prefer the edited style and want to learn more about tech and how to get the most out of your tech in your empire, click here for this guide. Click it now.